What's up, people? This is Jensen here once again, and this is my recap of the semifinals, where I kind of like go through and talk a little bit about my process and the way that I do my videos and my tactical recaps. And this is kind of why my predictions missed the mark, where I predicted both results wrongly. With the first series, with me calling for G2, and the second one, I said that I felt the TS would come out ahead. So let's break it down a little bit. Let's talk about the series today first, where Suning went up against TopEsports, and initially I looked at the way that both teams would draft, and I felt that Suning should struggle to win on blue side, but immediately off the bat on game 2, they showed us evolution in the way that they played, and they put off from a scaring team fighting composition, which had them pick up the Ornn Kindred on 4-5, which I thought was a very good evolution of the way that this team plays. Because initially I felt that that Bin in the top lane didn't have enough blind pick top laners to go up against 369's champion pool, but for him to pull out the Ornn all of a sudden, which has been a champion that they have been banning throughout the entire tournament, either this has got to be one of the biggest bamboozles, right? Like, you show everybody that, hey, we don't really play Ornn. 1 week in, you pick up this champion. Yes, thanks. Some people argue that it's can be a lot easier to play, but you have to realize that this is a player playing in the engaged position, and you can argue a little bit around that this team didn't fully understand how to itemize and make full efficiency out of the Ornn. But I felt that they pieced together a very good blue side composition still. They had the Zoe in the mid lane, which I liked a lot. They secured Drake number 2, Drake number 3, but as with any Zoe versus Orianna matchup, Drake number 4 tends to be a problem once the Orianna completes the items. So Suning, they evolved, and my snapshot in assessing the tools that they had on hand didn't apply when it came to the series itself, because this is a team that's willing to rapidly adapt and evolve as the tournament goes on. And I wouldn't be surprised if once again they pull off another strategy, they pull off another addition to the champion pool, or some interesting changes to help them find the edge against Domjuan Gaming. But we'll leave that to the tactical preview of the finals itself, and let's go to the other semifinals. That was between Domjuan against G2, and I think that most people would have been introduced to my channel via this video, where I predicted G2 to come out 3-1 ahead. And to be fair, most of the things that I pointed out that Domjuan had errors in, it happened in game 2, it happened in game 3, but G2, their laning phase just fell behind way too far, and this is the weakness of doing a pure tactical approach, right? Where I ignore the nameplates and I just look at the way that it's set up on the map. I ignore the laning phase and potential leads that can cause the game to be busted open in general. So that's kind of where this prediction went wrong, where I'm not factoring in what's the potential matchups and the players' ability to outplay one another, because that's just not the focus of what I like to do in this channel, right? And as for what we learned from the semifinals, I think that scaling team fighting has become the evolution of the meta, right? We saw 3 times the teams got the soul point in the Suning versus TS series, but the team that outskilled at the point of time in the team fights was able to take the game, although it did come close to some 50-50 flips at some points of times. But unless it's Ocean Soul, even if you do win the flip for the Drake, you will still lose a team fight, and that will convert into Baron for your opponent. Zoe is a champion that's good at getting the 3 Drakes, like I mentioned, so game 2 Suning versus TS, but you struggle to get Drake number 4. And red side selection, I think it was definitely a very big part. Once again, we saw 6 wins on red side and 2 wins on blue side throughout both series in the semifinals, and I do think the red side selection, especially with Suning being a very big beneficiary of having being able to counter pick on red side, whoever who wins the coin flip and gets to pick red side will have a significant leg up in the finals itself. And that kind of wraps up for this video. Not any too much in-depth analytical content, but if you're out there and you had a different prediction and you called the right semifinalist, props to you. You're right this time, and I was wrong. So this kind of explains why my predictions missed the mark. And I'll be doing more content every day until Worlds concludes. And with that, this is Jensen. I hope you have had a great day and get hyped for the finals. I'm so pumped for Suning.